Potassium. Potassium. This is a public service announcement to make sure you get your potassium. Everybody's talking about electrolytes. Well, potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, they're all electrolytes. They help stimulate electrical charges in the muscle so that you can continue moving and lifting and growing and just living. But I've noticed that everybody talks about magnesium. You need magnesium. Yes, you definitely need magnesium because we have a very low percentage of magnesium in our foods. I used to work at a organic vegetable farm, and we used to have to amend the soil with tons of Epsom salts before we planted our kale, because kale is high in magnesium, but kale needs magnesium from the earth to grow. So the fact that we're low in magnesium is because we've leached all the magnesium out of the earth. So everybody's low on magnesium. Everybody's taking magnesium. They got 7 different kinds of magnesium in one pill that you take, but nobody's talking about potassium. We need almost 4 to 5 times more potassium than we do any of the other electrolytes. I think we need 10 times the amount of potassium than we need magnesium. We need 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day, and some experts are saying that we actually need more than that. The Paleolithic diet used to contain 15,000 milligrams of potassium. It's because the potassium is very essential in the potassium-sodium pump, which is in our cells, which helps our muscles. Without that pump going and that matchup, we're not going to be operating at the maximum level. So I'm always telling people, get your potassium any way you can. Now, when you look at these electrolyte drinks, you look and they have maybe 200 milligrams of potassium. They have maybe, some of them have 600 milligrams. You want to get 5,000 milligrams or 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day, and you're chugging a Gatorade that's got 200 milligrams. Oh, people say, how about having a banana? A banana's got like 80 milligrams of potassium in it. So, not high in potassium. Now, what does have high potassium is leafy greens. Get a couple leafy greens and have that. But who wants to eat a couple leafy greens? And not me. Okay, so if you guys know me, you know that when I talk about intermittent fasting, I always say the schedule is you get up in the morning, you have your apple cider vinegar, and then you have your electrolyte drink 2 times, at least 2 electrolyte drinks through the day, okay? I always use these electrolyte powders, Dr. Berg's electrolyte powder, and if you look on the you can't see it here, but if you look on it, every serving has got 1,000 milligrams of potassium. This is the only one that's got 1,000 milligrams of potassium. So I've tried others. I always go back to that one because at least I know I'm getting it. Now, why, besides being healthful, do I continue going back to that? Because when you drink that electrolyte, when you drink that heavy amount of potassium at 11 o'clock in the morning and you haven't eaten in 16 hours or something, 10 minutes later, you're no longer hungry. It works every time, I promise you. It's very, very surprising how tired you can feel in the middle of the day and thinking that you need a coffee or thinking you need a Monster or thinking you need some kind of caffeine to pick me up, and you hit a heavy electrolyte drink and you wait 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're wide awake again. I'm surprised every time I do it, and I do it all the time, but I can't believe it. It's just that simple, one of those things. So how can I get more potassium in my diet, you say, without having to eat a big handful of kale? Mixed nuts have a lot of potassium, so you can eat mixed nuts, but they're dry and I don't like it. What I like is, and this is cheap too because I'm poor, so I like canned red salmon. Canned red salmon, and has, in this one can, it has 1,400 milligrams of potassium. So I eat a can of this after I get home from work, and I have at least I know I have 1,400 milligrams of potassium in my bloodstream before I start having some dinner. Some people might think that's gross, but I am not eating for entertainment. I'm eating to fuel my body. So I stopped thinking about eating like, oh, I wanna have comfort food. I wanna make it happy. I want my mouth to be happy when I'm eating. No, I'm eating to fuel my body because I want to look like this, because I want to live as long as I possibly can. I'm no longer eating corn dogs and funnel cake and Doritos. I'm eating things that are going to fuel my body, they're going to make me healthy, and they're going to make me live longer. I'm 51 years old, and I've been eating like this for 2 years, and I've never felt better. I've never felt younger. I don't have any joint pain. I don't have any back pain. I work out all the time. I have all kinds of energy, and I really believe it's because of what you put in your body. They say you are what you eat. They say your abs are made in the kitchen, and that's true. So get your potassium any way you can. If you can't afford this, you can actually get you can make your own electrolyte drinks with Celtic salt and baking soda, and they have a potassium that you can just literally buy powdered potassium at Amazon. You can do that. That's cheaper, but I always suggest go with that one because it's always worked for me. So thanks for listening. I'll see you later.